don't remember the words 40 years ago.
Yeah.
I got on stage and every word came back to me.
Yeah. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, we're here with Tommy Hunt, legendary rhythm and blues doo-wop vocalist. Great to be here, Tommy.
Nice to see you, Jackie.
Great to be here. We got Rick on piano, and we're going to do a song by Sam Cooke that was written for the Flamingos.
And now I'm going to get funky.
Nobody Loves Me Like You Do. Take it away, Rick. Okay. Hello everybody, I'm with the legendary doo-wop rhythm and blues vocalist Tommy Hunt. It's a pleasure to be here, Tommy.
It's a pleasure to see you, Jack. It's been too long.
It's a pleasure to see. Last time was Senegalia.
Yeah, Italy.
The Summer Jamboree with the Velvet Candles.
Yeah.
But we'd like today to speak about your life, about your music, about your influences, where you come from, where you've gone to, and you're still writing songs today, as you say. So let's tell everyone about Tommy. He was born in 1933 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on June the 18th, and he's an American soul, Northern Soul singer. In 2001, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, was part of the Flamingos, and you know, he started life in Pittsburgh, where your friends nicknamed you Tommy.
Yes, they did. I got that nickname when I was in school.
Right.
When I was in high school, they said I didn't look like a Charles. They said, no, your name's not Charles. We're going to call you Bobby and Johnny. And then somebody said, no, Tommy. And it just stuck with me all of these years.
Yeah. And you were so immersed in music that you forever leaving school and entering talent shows.
Wouldn't go. And I still say that today. If I had to do it again, I'd do it the same way, because I just wouldn't go to school, because I was too busy. Everything was music with me. There was a little station, like small station, radio station on the corner about 2 blocks from my high school, and I would go to school. I'd get up and get dressed and go like I'm going to school, and I would stop at that station, and that's where you'd find me every day, looking at this woman playing records. And finally she invited me in, and she said, why do you stand at that window every day? I said, because one day I'm going to be singing. I said, I'm going to be a singer.
And when you were kind of left, you were put into a reform school, but when
Yes.
you left that school, they didn't sort of stop your love of music because you moved with your mother to Chicago.
To Chicago, right.
And that's when you formed your first group, was the Five Echoes.
Yes. That was
Can you tell us something about the Five Echoes?
Yeah, there was, let's see, there was Count, Earl, Mo, and Freddie, and myself.
And was that a traditional doo-wop group, or were you mixing rock and roll, rhythm and blues? Were you listening?
Well, I think we were back. We did a song called "Lonely Mood" for Shaw, a guy named Shaw. He was on Sheridan Records or something like that. Sheridan was his name. But we did this record, and it was a Mickey Mouse song. It must have, sold about 5 copies, 10 copies.
Yeah.
But
it got you started.
Yeah, it got us started.
Yeah.
We was working all the local little clubs, we was getting $5 a man to sing. And I thought that was $1 million at the time. I said, I'm singing and I'm making money too. That's a reward. So what happened was, I remember one night, and I remember the club I was working in, funny enough, we were working in a club under a hotel called the Beige Room. And now this was a pretty up-to-do club,
Yeah.
And the guy that owned it was named Cadillac Bob. And he said, I'm going to give you guys a chance in my club. I want to see how you work out. So we were doing the show, and I noticed some guys come in the door after we were on the stage at the time. And I said, I know them guys. I've seen them before. And I was saying this to myself because I was singing. And I said, that's the Flamingos. And I loved the Flamingos because when I heard them sing, I said, that's a great group.
Yeah.
And when they came in, I just thought they came out to, look at us and maybe help us.
Because wasn't it? It was Zeke Carey.
Zeke and Jake Carey.
Right.
They
were being drafted at the time.
The Flamingos were a family. They were cousins and uncles and.
Okay.
And they were Jewish.
Right.
Black Jews.
Right.
Yep. And I came up the stage, and Zeke called me over to his table, and I went over and he says, what's your name? I said, Tommy. He says, I like how you dance. And he says, your voice is pretty nice. I said, thank you. I says, coming from you guys, it's a compliment. He said, you know us? I said, yeah, you're the Flamingos. And he said, he says, you do your homework, don't you? I says, no. I said, my mother worked in a club where you was working, and I snuck in and saw you on the stage, and I just loved you.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I got a proposition for you. And I said, what's that? And I said, no, what's
I'd like you to replace me.
He said, I'm going into the service for 2 years. In fact, there was 2 of them going into the service for 2 years. And they were looking for 2 guys. But when they saw me, they felt that I could fit the whole gap. Because I was a dancer too, as well as a singer.
Yeah.
And he says, we're going into the service and we need substitutes. And we were looking at you, and we were interested in seeing if you would be interested in filling the gap. And I said, you mean be with the Flamingos? Well, I'm the type of person that I cannot step on my friend's toes. I love the Echoes. And today I still love them. And I said, well, I don't know how to do this. I said, because I'm with these guys, and, I'm important to their group too, So he said, well, go talk to your guys and see what they have to say about it. And if you can't do it, you can't do it.
Yeah.
So I went to the fellas, and the fellas said, Tommy, you should do it.
It's a great opportunity.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. Plus, they said, just think about it. You'll be with them, and you'll be meeting people in the, bigger people in the business, and that can help us.
And then, of course, the big hit when you joined the group, I Only Have Eyes for You.
Yeah, well, when
I mean, that's...
And that was the first, I think that was the first record I put out with them professionally with the Flamingos.
And I believe you were telling me earlier when we were talking that you come up with that great vocal riff at the start. Shoo-wah, shoo-wah.
Yeah, I came up with that. We were in the Cecil Hotel in New York, where all the entertainers stayed there because it was cheap. And I was sitting on the bed and we were rehearsing the song because the record company asked us to do some evergreens, some old songs that he thought that our voices were more geared to the evergreen songs than they were to like the up-to-date soul or rhythm and blues.
Yeah.
He said, "Why don't you try that?" And I told Zeke, I said, "Zeke, what's an evergreen?" Because I never heard that before. And he said, "The evergreens are songs like Nat King Cole, Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra type songs." And I said, "Oh." And I said, "I know a lot of those songs." I said, "Because I love them all. Music is music to me." So we were at the Cecil Hotel rehearsing the song to go into the recording studio. And we were trying to look for ideas for this "I Only Have Eyes for You."
And that great opening.
And that doo-wop just came into my mind.
The echo chamber sound on that, I mean, it's just legendary. Been used in so many films, so many soundtracks.
And I was surprised. I was really surprised.
Still a great track today and holds today, doesn't it?
You know yourself, when you do a song like that in amongst songs that were coming out at that period, at that time, you know, they were all swinging and funky and, you know, and you think, a ballad? I don't think this is going to work.
But I mean, you were only with the Flamingos for a short while, because in 1960 you left the band and you were approached by Luther Dixon to release a side on his label.
Well, he approached me. I didn't know which way to go after I left the Flamingos. I didn't want to leave them, but I had to because there was a little bit of animosity, which I told you about the guitar player. There was
well, that's part of the history, I suppose. Yeah.
But I think people, you know, should know the truth.
Yes.
Because the one thing I believe in is the truth.
Yes.
Because it's one thing I do in my show. I tell stories, and I do my show, and then I tell a story, then I do another song.
So that was Parade of Broken
Hearts. This is the first thing that Luther showed me.
Yeah.
And I told Luther, I said, "Luther, it's not me. It's not me."
But it was a DJ in New York, Jocko Henderson,
Jocko.
who was playing the B-side, which became your biggest hit in the United States.
I told Luther,
Human.
I said, "Human is going to be the side." And he said, "Tommy, I'm the recorder.
Great song.
Keep your mouth shut and just sing the song I tell you to sing the song."
Yeah.
But I said, "Fair enough." And so I prayed to Broken Hearts. And Jocko was saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, Tommy Humphrey, formerly with the Flamingos. Here's his first solo record, Parade of Broken Hearts." And he put the spin on, and it was Human. And the phone rang off the hook after the song was over. Play it again.
Become a big hit in the States.
So what I did, I thought I was pretty clever doing this.
Yeah.
Luther called me, because I had told him Human was the side. He called me, he said, "Tommy, we did it. I said, "Luther, I told you you were smart. You sure picked the right song." He never picked, he wanted to play Broken Heart. So he had his glory.
Yeah.
I gave him his glory. I could have said, "Well, you can pick it, I picked it."
That's right.
But you don't tell people like that. You don't tell them what they didn't pick, because you'll be on the streets again. So
I mean, it was a couple of years later, about '62. You were the first recording of "I Just Don't Know What to Do with Myself."
Yeah, I did another one before that.
Okay.
Which was "The Doors Open" by Freddie Scott. Hey Girl wrote it for me, and I liked the song, and it did have the potential, but what happened was the instrumental side of it wasn't as I heard it, as like I heard Human. Human was just like an instant thing for me. Yes, it was a definite yes right from the beginning.
Yeah.
And The Doors Open had that same potential.
Yeah.
But the instrumental side of it wasn't coming into the flavor of the song the right way for me. But I sang it anyway, and I liked it. I enjoyed singing it.
Yeah.
Because it was my style of singing, but it just didn't have that special feel to it. It didn't sell.
Burt Bacharach and Hal David.
And then
wrote
they
the song.
came in.
They come to Scepter Records.
Yeah, they came to Scepter Records, and they said, think we got a song for Tommy. That's what the words were. I think we got a song for Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think they were writing it for me personally, but I think when they...
Yours was the first recording of it before it became
but after they heard my voice on Human, I think that's what they wrote that song.
Yeah.
Because they knew that I got this big voice.
Later become a big hit for Dusty Springfield and Dionne Warwick.
Well, Dusty came over to the States, and I was surprised when somebody told me, said Dusty didn't like the song either, but her manager told her she was going to do it or else.
Yeah.
See, we didn't have no say so in the business. All we had was to do was sing a song and keep them mouth shut.
And then we come to the legendary, world famous venue, the Apollo.
Yo.
I mean, you were a regular there.
Very regular.
And I mean, you know, you're working alongside people like, you know, Jackie Wilson, Ray Charles, Bo Diddley, the Shirelles, Diana Ross and the Supremes.
I don't remember if you remember Dinah Washington.
Yeah. Great blues singer.
Great. Fantastic. Brooke Benton, I can remember. There was, what's his name? Mustang Sally.
Wilson Pickett.
Wilson, and Wilson was a handful. But I remember Wilson. We were working together at the Apollo, and Wilson wasn't going to go on the stage if I went on last.
Right. There was
a
friendly rivalry.
Yeah. So Wilson was giving Bobby Shipman, the owner of the theater, a whole lot of mouth. Well, if you're going to put Tommy on last, I'm not going to do my show. And so Bobby came to me, and he said, Tommy, what do you know what's happening? And I said, well, I heard. He said, well, what do you think? I said, can I tell you, Bobby? I said, I'm going to tell you something. You remember, you gave me a contract, didn't you? You had my figure on there for what I get paid, didn't you? I said, I don't care where he goes on.
Yeah. It didn't bother you?
It didn't bother me at all?
You could have gone on first, last, in the middle.
And I'm still the same way today.
Yeah.
Today, I don't care who goes on, as long as I get on and do my show, get my pay, and I go home.
I mean, you're one of the, also one of the only artists to actually have two photos in the foyer of the Apollo. One with the world famous Flamingos, and one as a solo act as Tommy Hunt.
And I don't understand that because I didn't get that far in the single singing department.
Yeah. I mean, in the late 60s, you sung for the army, you worked in Germany for a while, but in 69 you come over to England.
Well, what happened?
What was that like for you?
What really happened was, in I think it was 67 that I was in Germany. And the guy, an Australian guy who booked me there named Jeff Patterson, he told me, he said, if anything ever happens in the state, Tommy, and you want to come over here, he said, come over and I'll look after you. I'll be your agent over here and, you know, get you some work and get you started. And I said, oh, thank you. And June 18, 1969, I woke up one morning, I said, I'm leaving. I said, I've had enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I got on the plane. I didn't give myself a chance to think about it. I said, I'm gone. And I came over to Germany, and he was gone. So I've been through some things.
Yeah.
For my singing.
I mean, you certainly have. I mean, you played the second anniversary of the Wigan Casino, and really that opened up some big doors. I mean, you were approached by Russ Winstanley and Mike Walker,
still a friend
of the Casino, and you released a couple of sides on the Spark label.
Yeah, well, he came up to me after that anniversary I did, and he said, "Are you contemplating on recording anymore?" I said, "Well, if I can get a song, if I can get a company, of course I want to record."
Yeah.
He said, "Well, I think I can help you."
And the first song was a very dear friend, rhythm and blues artist of yours.
One of my best friends, Roy Hamilton, the guy I loved.
Cracking up.
From when I was with the Echoes, because that's when he put out.
Great vocalist.
Yeah, but he put out this song, "Never Walk Alone." That's when I first heard him, and I said, "Wow."
That guy can well.
Well, this is the voice I wanted.
Yeah, big vocalist.
Big voice.
Elvis Presley was a massive fan.
But I can't sing big.
Yeah.
And I told Roy, I said, I'm going to do that song one day, Roy. I said, I'm not trying to be funny. I said, because you do a great job on it. I said, but I want to do a song like that. He said, well, do that one. I said, I can't do it. I said, because you're making a hit with it. And then I said, I wouldn't do that.
And that
but
actually got
when it goes down the drain, then I might do it again.
In a lower part of the charts in the UK, and then you followed that up with another great song, "Loving on a Losing Side," which again got to the lower reaches of the charts, but was a massive, still a great song on the Northern Soul circuit. That dance floor is packed.
That's what I can't believe that. I cannot believe
and it's still a great song.
When I did Butlin's a couple of weeks ago, Skegness, when I did that,
there
was about, like I said, 8,000 or 9,000 people there.
All singing along,
chanting, Tommy, 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 Tommy.
Loving it.
And so much is on the computers now, like, what is it, Your Face?
Facebook.
Facebook and YouTube.
So many clips have gone up, and people are sharing it and loving it.
And then the promoter, the following day that I came home, phone rang, and it was Russ Winstanley, because he's promoting it, that thing. And he said, can you do it next year, Tommy? So I've got it again next year.
That's great news. So, that's great news. I mean, in sort of 82, 83, you won the Club Mirror Award for Best Vocalist.
Which I couldn't understand that.
Well,
because you got some great singers here in England.
Yeah, but you won it.
All over me.
You moved to Amsterdam for a short. 86, but 86. You moved to Amsterdam.
86. It was 86. Yeah, October 86.
Yeah, and did you meet up with any cats over there?
Well, no. The guy that saw me over there, he saw me here in London. I was at the London Rooms doing a show, and this guy seen me there, and he owned one of the biggest clubs in Amsterdam. What was the name of the club?
The Blue Note, was it?
No. It was like the Lido. I remember, because there's a Lido in Paris too. He called and said he would like to get me. He said, I saw your show and I like the way your show runs, and it would be good for my club, and would you come over to Amsterdam? And that's when my ex-lady and I first got together, and I let her be the manager and do the talking.
Yeah. So
we got over there, and it was only a one night stint there. And we felt so comfortable after the show. With people were nice, everybody was nice, and it felt so good. We didn't want to leave, so we went and stayed with one of the staff. One of the fellows of staff, he lived close by the club, so we stayed with him. And before I know it, the guy at the club called him and said, ask Tommy, can he do another 6 months for me if he's not gone back to England? And I said, yeah. And that led to us starting to live there, because after that, other people were coming in with more work. There was Iceland that came in, there was Israel that came in.
Yeah.
So I went out to Israel for 6 months.
Yeah, fantastic.
Did the hotels, and so I've been around the world. Africa, Australia. Wow. I've done it all.
But you actually come back to the UK 1997 when you did your autobiography with Jan Warburton. Yeah. Which was the book Only Human, My Soulful Life. Yeah. And that's a great read on the history of. Well, I try to tell the story the way it is. You know what I mean? Instead of trying to build a story up, I just said what I am and what I've done. And bringing it currently right up to date. You're now working with the fantastic doo-wop vocal group, the Velvet Candles from Barcelona. Great guys. Great guys. I love them all. And they love the tradition of doo-wop. Well, when Juan is the one that approached me, and because he approached me, I went over to do a wedding for a DJ, an English DJ who married a Spanish girl. And he called me and asked would I come over for the wedding, and I said yeah. So went over, and he said, I got this guy that really, really is a Flamingo fan from his head to his toes. Yeah. He said, and he's got his own little singing group.
and he just wants to meet you and just touch you.
Wow.
And I met him, we talked, and he said to me, he said, is it possible if we do a show that one time you could come and do it, do help us? I said, sure, why not?
Because I think Screaming was the first one.
Screaming, yeah.
With Carlos Diaz.
Carlos, yeah.
And then you worked for Angelo, who runs the Summer Jamboree in San Gallia.
Is that Italy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That was where I saw you.
Yeah,
with,
that's where we met.
We met
Yeah,
in San Gallia.
that's right. Yep.
You know, and that was just went down a storm. You
Yeah,
know,
well,
and the fun.
I think I made a little bit of a fool of myself.
Well, I don't know. I mean, there was a lot of. I know that.
I went down on my knees for that girl.
That Grace, the MC.
I think people say, "What's wrong with that fool?"
Well, listen, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Hey.
Hope everyone's enjoyed listening to it. Tommy Hunt, Rhythm and Blues, Do
Mr.
What Legends.
Jackson, it's so good to see you again.
Great to see you.
Great to see you.
All the best.
And I got a new friend over there behind the camera.
We have indeed. That's Rick over there. He's going to play some piano. But pleasure to see you, and all the best with your new direction and your new music. All the
Well,
best.
if I got people like you in my corner, I can't lose.
There you go. Here we are with Tommy Hunt. We've got Rick Dawson on piano. We're going to do the song which you've all seen on YouTube, a great song and a great dance by Tommy Hunt there, where he does the full splits. Jump, children. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. At the break of day.
When the dawn stopped jumping, almost break of day. When the dawn stopped jumping, it's almost a break of day. Well, I missed my baby 'cause she's so far away.
Well, I left my baby standing in the back door crying. Well, I left my baby standing in the back door crying. Well, all I could do was hang my head and cry. Tommy Hunt, Rick Dawson.